What's up, guys? It's Cody. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're talking about something that is absolutely crazy. This is talking about the flooding that we saw in Moab over the weekend. Now, there was some flooding that happened a couple of weeks ago here in Moab, and a lot of people were freaked out thinking, okay, maybe that's the worst of it. But unfortunately, the worst of it really came Saturday night. If we take a look at these photos and these videos that people have submitted and are filming, the devastation was absolutely crazy. It's crazy to see this type of stuff. Moab's mayor has actually declared a state of emergency after dozens of businesses and homes were flooded. All Moab trails, street entrances, and bridges are closed and extremely dangerous as crews and the community work to clean up. Some people are still without water even. A mixture of floodwater, mud, rocks, and entire trees even gushed over bridges in Mill Creek in Moab. Cars floated through the busiest streets in town, and restaurant customers waded through knee-deep water. Absolutely crazy. My father-in-law was actually there in town over the weekend, and the devastation was just insane. The flash floods have filled dozens of homes and almost every business on Main Street. Man, it's just crazy to see this type of devastation. This is something that southern Utah is really prone to. Unfortunately, whether you're in St. George, you're in Cedar City, you're at the national parks, you're in Moab, these areas are heavily influenced by these flash floods. And unfortunately, this is something that can cause a lot of devastation. As the storm passed, many actually stayed through the night cleaning up the mess of the mud and the debris that was left behind. It was stated that there was actually up to 6 inches of mud in one restaurant, and a lot of the equipment and furnishings are completely damaged and destroyed. It also says that businesses are hoping to get back up and running before Labor Day when Moab's busy fall season kicks off, but due to this extensive damage, they're worried they may not make it in time because that's just a couple weeks away. That will depend on if more storms come later this week. So this is just absolutely crazy, guys. I can't say it enough to see this devastation. I just wanted to share it with you guys here on the channel in case you didn't know about this, or just in case you're interested in this type of thing. I think it's really pretty crazy to see. All right, now I just want to share some of this information with you guys and just take a look at this together here. I mean, just wow, look at this. This is absolutely crazy. This is right on Main Street there in Moab. You can see just the water flowing. It's, halfway up the tires on these cars. People are standing in it. Some people are still trying to drive, of course, but wow, just look at that. Absolutely crazy to see, this type of flooding. It's good to hear that, for the most part, I think, I haven't seen any reports of like people going missing or getting, hurt or anything like that. I'm sure there's been some people who have, which is unfortunate. That's just one video here. Let's jump over to this one. Take a look at this. I mean, just look at this water flowing, taking these trees out. I've heard reports of people saying, hey, there was trees that were, 3 feet around floating down the middle of Main Street, coming down Mill Creek, which is the main creek there in town. Look at the water just hit this car. That's absolutely crazy. This is something that you really need to be aware of. If you're looking at going hiking in these areas, or if you're looking at living in these areas or whatever, I mean, you have to be aware of the damage and the quickness that these flash floods can implement or come at you with, right? So these flash floods, they can happen in a matter of moments, really. I mean, it could be raining, all this water kind of flows into one spot, and it will just overwhelm these old creek beds, and it will just kind of take over these entire areas. So this is something you really have to know about. I mean, look at this. The restaurant's just it's like totally destroyed. I mean, what do you even do at that point? Man, flooding is one of those things where it's just the power of water is absolutely crazy. But yeah, if you're anywhere in southern Utah, you're looking at hiking, you're looking at enjoying the red rock that we have down there, you have to be aware of these flash floods. And I mean, look at that tree, just a huge tree trunk just floating down the middle of the river there, or the street, or whatever it is. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Let me just pause here. You can see the waterfall coming right down here. Basically, all the rain will kind of fall up in these mountainsides, and then it kind of all funnels down just like it does in the mountains, and then it will funnel right down here into this waterfall, which is makes for a really pretty sight. But if you look, you've got a waterfall here. I'm sure there's a couple smaller ones in here. You've got one here. You've got one over here. All of this water is draining right down here into the middle. When all that water combines, that's where you get these flash floods that can just absolutely devastate, and overrun these rivers or these areas that are generally pretty dry. So that's something you have to look out for. These guys have the door shut, trying to keep, water out of their business, it looks like. Oh, man. I just clicking through this stuff. Here's another one. We saw that one already about that business. Looks like a restaurant. I mean, just the devastation is absolutely crazy. You got the semi truck just rolling through. Those guys just keep on trucking no matter where they got to go. They just keep rolling through. But you can see here, I mean, people kayaking down the middle of the road. Pretty crazy, just out having some fun, I guess. But yeah, just the damage and devastation. So I just wanted to share this video with you guys. I mean, you can see this river, you know, just flowing down right here. It's pretty crazy to see what can happen in these types of scenarios. So I just wanted to share this information with you, because it's something that I think a lot of people underestimate when this happens, and it's something that people need to be aware of if they're even just looking at visiting Utah, let alone living here. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.